A few days ago, I was talking with a friend about life, our goals, and what we wanted to achieve next year. And there was a moment when he mentioned that an Instagram account had been making him feel better about himself lately. So he shared it with me, and as I expected, it was one of those self improvement accounts. At first, I decided to give it a try because I had seen him more energetic and motivated than ever before. However, next time I met with this friend, he felt like a piece of, well, you know, manure. Now, seriously, I was somewhat surprised by how much he has changed in a few weeks. He told me that he had not felt good enough to achieve anything, that he was a disaster. Besides, he told me he was trying to follow the advice of these self improvement channels, and now, anytime he does unproductive things like, reading or watching films, he feels this emotion that he's wasting his time. Another thing which was pretty interesting is that he started to feel motivation only when he watched self-improvement content, but after a few minutes all this motivation was drained like a vampire drains blood. So basically he feels bad, and when he does things he loves, he feels bad too. And yeah, let's make a pause because you're probably thinking, why the heck am I telling you this? Well, because today we will talk about the construction of this self-development narrative, and we will try to understand why these things happen. One of the main ideas taken for granted by these channels is that everyone, every person around the world, knows what they want to do with their life. Besides, they believe all the people in the world have a personal business, work all day from home, or have an e-commerce. And you know what? This is not the main problem. It is fine if you have one of these things I mentioned before. The problem with these creators is that they think that is the only way to being successful, while the truth is that not everybody wants an e-commerce, personal business, or any other thing that is trending now while you're watching this video. Sometimes they do not understand that sadly some people have to do this because it's the only way they have to earn money and be able to pay rent, the bills, buy food, and live. On the other hand, it exists this idea of be your own boss, which just doesn't suit for everybody. Some people just want to study a career and have a job, and it's completely fine, while you're happy with what you're doing and your boss do not be an asshole. Regarding, there is another idea I believe is very harmful. Hyperproductivity, good. Free time, bad. I mean, what? Why? This is very related to the story I was telling you about my friend at the beginning of this video. If you truly embrace this idea, there might be one big risk. You won't be able to enjoy anything anymore. Because each moment of relaxation will become a moment when you're not working on your dreams to achieve those goals, or you're not being productive, and that could end up in a burnout, which is not pretty cool. However, here's a very short disclaimer I want to do. I'm not saying you have to do nothing with your life and wait until all your dreams come true, because spoiler, it won't happen. You need to put effort into the things you really want to do. But that doesn't mean you have to ruin yourself. Another interesting thing I would like to talk about is how these creators use philosophy to endorse their message. While the philosophy's job is questioning and wants to make us think, these gurus try to sell us a certainty through philosophy. At the same time, I know so many people got into the philosophic world thanks to this type of content, which is actually a good thing. However, I believe we must be very careful and not to fall into the truths these people sell at exorbitant prices. Another interesting thing is the lack of self-criticism from these creators. For example, let's follow this path. Usually their methods never fail because they're all proven by science. So, if they do not work, it is because the user, us, hasn't applied them correctly or misunderstood them. So that leads to the conclusion that it is always our fault, never theirs. Moreover, the world of self-development is full of stereotypes that are almost as similar as an American teen movie. It sells us the idea of being different, of being ourselves as a cool thing, but at the same time they want us to fit into the system. Ultimately, it is just the same superficial content we can find on social media, just, tiny doses of motivation to make us dependent and all that stuff. Another thing that doesn't sit right with me is that most of these creators are not people who have studied or worked in areas related to mental health. Most of them have marketing or economics degrees, or they're journalists or life coaches. So anyway, I'm not gonna go deep into this because it's probably just more like an opinion, but anyway, I just wanna mention it. So finally, I just want to finish this short analysis saying not all self-development content is unuseful or is a way to make money. I know there are some people who truly try to share techniques, idea, or some other helpful tools. However, nowadays I believe it is a place we must visit carefully and with critical thinking. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.